Good morning. It's March the 10th, 2017, and we are about to experience the second biggest news day of the month on the assumption that the Fed raises interest rates on March the 15th on the FOMC uh, meeting's conclusion. Um, it's a tough day to trade. It carries a lot of risk, but we have a way to handle it with our news day trading strategy, and we'll see how well that works today. We'll start with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, equities around the globe are higher in anticipation of probably a higher number than is forecast right now for non-farm payroll. 200,000. That was 195 after the ADP number. They raised it to 200,000. Unemployment 4.7. There's always a potential whipsaw between these two numbers if they're off the consensus forecast. Private non-farm payroll 200K. Hourly earnings plus 0.3. And average work week 34.4. That number rarely changes, but it is looked at. And Baker Hughes rig count, don't know what this week will be. Last week was 1091. That's probably about where it'll be this week, give or take. Especially next week, we might even see a drop with the fall off in oil prices. So the focus is right here. If you know those two numbers, you have the trade. And unfortunately, because of the lack of liquidity, you can't buy stop or sell stop into the market. You have to put that trade on before the fact. Because this market has sold so much prior to this week's announcement and next week's, the trade with the most potential would be long into the news. A lot of bad news is already built in. Okay, resistance starts at 28, so without news, 27 to 31 would be sell 1. 3 to 7 would be sell 2. 17 to 21 would be buy 1. And 9 to 13 would buy 2. This is all without news. We're just going to reference these numbers and see how well they hold up. It's part of the 5 to 10,000 hours of experience that you need to gain. And winter returns to the southern central plains. We're supposed to be below 50 for the next 5 to 7 days. It was 75 degrees yesterday, no wind. Pretty nice. Prior to that, we had 5 days of wind, 30 gusts to 45. It's just hard to imagine that the wind can blow that hard that long unless you're on Shimmy or Adak or places like that. But it can, and it does. That's why our air is cleaner down here. We blow all our pollution to the northeast. Okay, looking at the 30-year resistance, number 1 is 24 to 28, so 31 to 03, sell 1, picking up this area right here. 7 to 11, sell 2. On the buy side, 12 to 16 is number 1. 5 to 9 is buy 1. And 29 to 01 is buy 2. Now, we're putting these numbers down, but on a Newsday situation, I'll show you how we trade that. Momentarily. Okay, there's a lot of risk associated with that, so let's just assume the market trades up. the news hits. We'll have the mode and the mean right here. We'll have the value area low right there, and we'll have where the news hits. So this would be your number 1 buy, and you pretty well can pretty much always fill that. Number 2 buy would be at the value area low, and number 3 buy would be at where the news hit the market. This one probably is not doable unless it's a big head fake going on. So market moves up, you've got a limit buy against either the mode or the mean right in here. To get in, it should be right inside the closest one. Then if the market trades up, doesn't take out that high, you exit. And you have to be pretty nimble to do this. You might be putting a trade on and taking it off, in 20 to 30 seconds. If that is too much for your trading capabilities right now, let the market do what it's going to do. Come back and find support. Come up, get a lower high. Then we're going to move into stage 3 or development. And on the bond, you'll be working this plus or minus 4. On the note, plus or minus 2. On the E-mini, plus or minus 4 points. And in crude and gold, doesn't really matter. The market to trade today that will have the least influence of the non-farm payroll unemployment numbers will be crude. And we're pretty good at that. Looking at gold, we've been talking about stops below 1200 for a while. Got an attractor at 88. The next market number is 75. So roll from the 1200 puts to the 1175 puts. We'll keep it going in $25 increments. No reason to own gold if the Fed's going to raise interest rates. Can't eat gold. So most of the world needs income, and debt securities, fixed income, has more appeal than gold for most of the world. This market will react to the news just like the bonds will. Sell 1, 99 to 01. Sell 2, 4 to 6. On the buy side, the low volume number is 93, so 95, 93, buy 1. And 88 to 90, buy 2. Okay, the euro is up. Draghi's announcement and comments afterwards were taken as that the easing is over. Things have stabilized in Europe, and the next move will be for higher interest rates. No more QE, devaluing the euro by the euro. And that's where we are. That is countered by the fact that the European Union wants the euro lower so they can export goodies outside of the European Union. Okay, our number 2 sell zone was 15 to 25 yesterday. 15 to 25, sell 1. 40 to 52, sell 2. This will react big time to the news, so a newsday trade is appropriate here too. But this is without news. 75 to 85, buy 1. 105.50, buy 2. Oh, these are reference points. We know we're doing our homework. We're not shirking that. And you have to keep a sharp pencil. We're strategizing. Okay, the market least affected will be crude oil. And crude oil, usually after it gets slams, tries to stabilize. We usually look for pause days. So we've had 2 hard days down, 48 $52.50. That's like from $52.85. That's $4 in 2 days. So right there's your clean break in the market, basically 50. And we're at 65. So 49.75, 60, 50. Sell one. That's where resistance is. 25 to 50. Sell two. It is Friday. We could get into the week short covering. And the news out from OPEC yesterday was, hey, U.S. shale oil producers, we may not extend our production cuts come June. And if we don't do that, price of crude oil is going lower. Your production will be non-economic. What OPEC and them are discounting is the fact that you can turn horizontal production on and off. It's like an inventory hanging over the market. And it's pretty easy to bring back online. We're back up over 9 million barrels of production domestically here. So I don't know how that battle is going to resolve itself, but I wouldn't count the U.S. shale oil producer out. And all of these Gulf states, Russia and all them, Iran, need to meet their present budgets, need crude oil over $100 a barrel to prosper. They're not going to get it, but at 40 to $50 a barrel, some shale oil is economic. Okay, the E-mini. Maybe the correction's over. We almost corrected 50 points. 2,400 plus to 51 yesterday. The market is trading up in anticipation of a good number. On the E-mini, right before the news, see where it's trading, and then a fade order plus or minus 10 points away from where the action was. Usually works. Sometimes it goes 15, but 10 usually contains it. So without news, we'd be selling, I think got a strong P here, 74, 76, 79.81. On the buy side, getting started, 65, 67, buy one. And then 60, 62. So 60, 65 buy, 75, 80 sell. Without news is where we would be. 10 points away right now would have you selling 80 and buying 60. If the market was at 70 when the news hit. On treasuries, it can be 1 point to 2 points on the bond. It can be 12 to 24, 30 seconds on the note. They're a little bit harder to trade because they do trade the fundamentals, and depending on how strong or weak the news is, that's what gives you the range on treasuries. Okay, I'll take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'll be back on the news, and we'll see how our news day trading strategy works in a bit.